Coming up on today's episode of Cook and Crave, it's all about cranberries. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne Dede.
And you found 3 recipes for cranberries, which I always think of holiday time, but really you can make them any time of the year.
Absolutely.
So the first recipe, if you want to go ahead and cook along with this, grab a piece of paper and a pen, write down the ingredients, is a cranberry cake. And for this you will need 3 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, 3/4 cup butter, or 3/4, however you want to say that.
That's right. Or a stick and a half.
A teaspoon of vanilla, 2 cups of flour, and 12 ounces of cranberries.
That's all it is.
So not a lot of ingredients for a cake.
Nope, that's not.
And we also have a snack mix. And I always love snack mixes, so this is going to be great to have a new snack mix recipe. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of canola or sunflower oil, or I suppose any oil might do.
Yeah.
3/4 cup of honey, a 1/2 cup of vanilla yogurt, teaspoon of vanilla, and a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 12 cups of Honey Nut Cheerios or original, whichever you prefer,
Okay.
a cup of shelled pistachios, 2 cups vanilla yogurt covered pretzels, and then a cup of dried cranberries.
Yeah. Pretty easy, but it's good.
I don't doubt that. And the last recipe we have for cranberries is a cranberry salsa. So you're going to need a fresh, not that it has to be fresh, it could be frozen, just
Either
a big 12-ounce bag of cranberries, a Granny Smith apple, a 1/2 of large red pepper, a medium red onion, 3/4 cup sugar, a 1/3 cup of apple juice, 3 tablespoons of fresh cilantro, 2 tablespoons of pickled jalapeno peppers. That could be a tongue twister. And then a little bit of grated zested lime.
That's right. And just a heads up with this cranberry salsa, Denise Brosard at work gave me this recipe, so it is submitted from Denise.
Awesome. Then her name goes in the drawing for a apron this month too.
For sure. So what we want to do is start with the cranberry cake.
Okay.
And as you were reading the ingredients, maybe somebody out there that's a baker was tuned in and thought, no baking powder or baking soda, or no, anything in this cake to make it rise. What the trick is you beat your eggs and your sugar for a good 5 to 7 minutes until it, gets double in size and then, gets white in it. When you lift up your beater, it's going to be kind of stringy, and that's the leavening agent for your cake.
Oh,
so
okay.
That is certainly a must. You do not want to skip that part of, your recipe is beating your eggs and sugar long enough.
Okay. So I take it that's where we're going to start today.
That's right. And we've got the oven on it, 350.
Okay.
That's what we're going to bake it at.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a 9x13 pan.
Okay.
It's be nice, easy, and it's going to make a nice size cake because you have 2 cups flour and 2 cups sugar in that. So, okay, so we're going to start with putting our eggs in here. And that is, we said 3 eggs.
And we got some farm fresh eggs here again.
Absolutely. And you can just see how nice and big they are. They're just great eggs. The shells are probably at least twice as strong as your boughten eggs. I mean, this takes a little bit to crack. You're lucky when you buy the boughten eggs, you barely touch it and you have it all open already and stuff. So it's what you get used to.
Yes.
Okay, so we got the 3 eggs in there. Now we're going to put our 3/4 cup sugar in here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you got 2 cups of sugar.
I'm thinking of my other recipe. Correct.
Yeah.
This
2 cups of sugar.
2 cups sugar. When I was putting in the bowl, and I thought, no,
That's a lot of 3/4 cup sugar.
it is. So it is 2 cups sugar. So good catch. And so I'm going to put that on and just to get that blended well. And then I'm going to just put it on full speed and beat that good. If you're in doubt, go that 7 minutes to make sure your cake rises nice.
Right.
So
All right.
we'll do that. And then after this is beaten, then we're going to put in the butter and the vanilla and then we fold in the, cranberries and stuff like that. And the cranberries, this one you do want fresh cranberries. The salsa you can do frozen or fresh.
Okay.
And I know you can take that bag and just dump it in, but I like to take it and rinse them because sometimes you want to pick through the cranberries. Once in a while there is a cranberry that maybe you want to discard or whatever.
Okay.
So we're going to let that beat, and we'll be back with our viewers.
Sounds good.
Country Rose Cafe on East Villard is open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Enjoy daily homemade specials, caramel and cinnamon rolls, several different kinds of homemade pies made fresh every day. Country Rose Cafe is also famous for homemade soup, including their ever-popular Nefla served every Tuesday. While you're in, make sure to pick up your Channel 18 Cooking Crave recipes and like us on Facebook for different specials and announcements. Country Rose Cafe, the way a cafe should be, located at 837 East Villard in Dickinson.
Okay, we've beaten our eggs and sugar almost 7 minutes. So I figure you're always safer to do it a little bit more than less.
Right.
And we can see how thick it doubles, more than doubles in size. And so when you lift it up, it's kind of like making a ribbon effect. It's not just real liquidy. So
Okay.
the next procedure is you're going to put in your 3/4 cup butter.
Okay.
And rather than, thinking that you're going to have to take a measure, just 1.5 sticks butter is what you're going to do. And have that softened. If you have it just out for a while too, that's all it's going to be taken.
Okay.
You don't want to melt it. So we add that in there. Okay, and then I'm going to add my teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Okay.
And then we're going to beat this for 2 more minutes. And then we'll add our flour and our cranberries.
Okay.
And that there, you're going to just blend just until blended. You're not going to really mix it, or beat it for a while and
Sure.
stuff. So we're just put that on slowly until I get that butter mixed, so we're not wearing the mixture there. So we'll turn that on, and like I said, we're going to beat that for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll be back again.
Sounds good.
See your VA home loan expert at ENG Lending of Dickinson. Jay Wandler and the professional staff at ENG Lending provide expertise and services that are traditionally offered by the largest financial institutions, all with the local integrity of a local community bank. No wonder why ENG Lending is the area's #1 choice for North Dakota veteran home loans. Visit them online at 456loan.com or call 701-250-8166 today.
And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take out the mixer, and because you just want to blend the flour in until it's mixed, I'm going to just use my spatula because you don't
Okay.
want to overmix it.
So it's not a hard cake to make, but you do definitely want to follow the steps.
Absolutely, you do. And so we're going to add 2 cups of flour here. And I'm going to just take my spatula and just mix that well. And my beater is, the one I had on there is one that really beats things. If I had the little, the other size on there that doesn't whip it as much, I would just put it in the with the beater in there.
Sure.
So, I'm going to have you spray our pan. So we're just going to mix this. With cranberries, I'm not even sure if you can always find them any time of the year or not.
Okay.
That's something.
It's more of a seasonal fruit. I mean, definitely going to find it more at the holiday time then.
That's right, yes. So, just until that's well blended there. And I've never tried this with frozen cranberries. Now, like the salsa we're going to make, you can use fresh or frozen.
Right.
And so that's kind of nice. You can buy, if it's more seasonal and you can only find the cranberries more at the holidays, then, buy extra and put it in the freezer.
Sure.
But with this one here, I think, well, anytime you freeze anything, we all know that you get more moisture in the fruit or whatever, and it might be too much in the cake, and that's why you should certainly do the fresh.
Okay.
Okay, so we've just got that mixed well there, and now we're going to put in our 12 ounces of cranberries, and like I said, I just put them in here and rinsed them well and picked through so that there wasn't any spoiled cranberries. And that's quite a few. It looks like a lot.
It does look like a lot.
And that, so we're going to just get that mixed in there. So you want a good heavy wooden spoon, or like this spatula works great, and that to get that mixed well.
Okay. And it's very thick once you have everything in there.
It is, that with the flour and that, so. See, that's the way you got to eat your Cheerios, or your Wheaties to keep them muscles going.
Right. Baking it actually gives you a little bit of a workout.
Sometimes it does. That's why we couldn't justify that extra piece at the end, right?
Right.
Okay. Anything to justify that. All right. So it's not going to pour in there. You're going to basically just be, putting that in, and then you're going to want to, definitely spread that out.
Okay.
Over here, get a knife, and you can start doing that while I get this a little bit more scraped out. And I'll get this scraped off. And it says to bake, I think it was like 40 to 45 minutes. We're going to put it in at 40 minutes and double check it, because you don't want it to overbake it. It's not necessary. You want to keep your cake kind of moist and that. So you definitely have enough fruit in here.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll just get that scraped down there. I'll put that. So we're gonna, when you see all that fruit, it's gonna be great. So we're gonna put it in the oven, and I'm gonna set the timer for 40 minutes. And if we need to add a couple more minutes, we can always do that.
Sure.
So our viewers can see how easy that one was to assemble. So that's great. And I'm going to move my mixer here. Okay. The next thing we're going to start on is our salsa.
Okay.
So you want your beater, or your blender, I should say, because you're going to put the chunks of pepper, the red pepper, onion in there, and apple. And
Okay.
you want to blend that just to, not super fine, but just to have the, nice little
Chunky.
chunks. That's correct. So I'll take that off. And we're going to just start with, kind of just pulsating it. So it was red pepper, red onion, and or your purple onion. That's always a little bit milder than most of your white, your yellow onions.
Okay.
And then your apple, and it says the Granny Smith apple. And if you don't have a Granny Smith, any crisp apple will
Okay.
do. I wouldn't use like your delicious apples and that, because that is a little bit softer apple and
Right.
sweeter. So we're going to just pulse that there. And okay. Well, there. Might have to just take a knife and get that worked down in there a little bit till the blades actually get gets that fruit going. We started with our onion, pepper, and apple, and now I'm going to add the cranberries. What I'm going to do is just put them in here and just double check them to make sure, if there's any that I want to discard, we can do that. There's so. Okay, and being I just opened that bag, I'm going to just put it at once over underneath the rinse there and just rinse that off a little bit. I said we just got this started, but we didn't want to get it all the completely done until I put the cranberries in.
Okay. Runaway cranberry.
Ah, one for the sweeper. Okay. So I probably, you know, it might just be a little bit more. I'm going to just put that. Okay, we've got our fruit pretty much, cranberries and that blended well. And, you know, with the blender, because the blaze until the, you know, all the ingredients gets mixed, you might want to take a wooden dowel or something like that and just kind of push it down and making sure, you know, the cranberries and all that get in there. So,
Well, it's not that, you know, and we're doing it this way because the liquid's not in here. We're only adding the liquid part afterwards.
right, we're only going to add it out.
So it's very thick.
And that it's thick, but it's still, you know, you got your juices and stuff like that. So we're going to put it in just a nice big mixing bowl here. And you might find a cranberry or two that is not completely chopped, but that's okay. And that, so we want to get that all out of there. So now we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. We're going to add our cilantro and let's see, make sure that we have everything in here. And we're going to add a little bit of lime zest and 1/3 cup of apple juice. I'll let you go ahead and take that out. And on the recipe, and Denise says there's times that she'll add a little bit of, most of the time maybe use the lime juice. Because, you know, she doesn't have the lime zest and I didn't either. So we're going to just add just a little bit of a lime juice.
Okay.
In there. So I'll give you a teaspoon here, and so that you can put that in there. And I'll put the 2 tablespoons of, or 3 tablespoons of cilantro in there. And 2 tablespoons of jalapeno chopped pepper.
Okay. Give it a little kick.
A little bit of kick, but that's not an awful lot. In fact, when I bought it, it was a pretty small jalapeno pepper that I bought, and that's pretty much what it was. So get that mixed well. And like I said, it's just a really, really good dip. Something different than, you know, your vegetables,
Right.
you know, your regular salsa.
It's not tomato based.
That's correct. Okay. Got all that mixed well. And so we'll just set that aside.
Okay.
And just to double check, you did add the lime juice in there a little bit.
Yes,
so
I
we
did.
have all the ingredients. And there again, if you want to make it the night before or a few hours before, so all the flavors, you know, go together, you can certainly do that.
Okay.
That doesn't have to be done at the last minute. Okay, so we'll set our blender aside. And now we're going to start with our cranberry pistachio mix.
Okay.
And that we are going, I'll get my bowl over here. We're going to start with 12 cups of Cheerios. Either do you can do the Honey Nut Cheerios, or you can do just plain Cheerios. And,
Okay.
And I think I have a little bit of mix of that, and I think I actually had some whole grain ones in there. Cheerios is Cheerios, so just go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to get this mixed here. We're going to start with our 3/4 cup honey.
And this is one that we do bake. We do slow roast it kind
Right.
of and turn it every once in a while.
Yes, we're going to put your oven on at 250, and it says an hour to hour and 15 minutes. So in every 15 minutes, you're going to want to just kind of stir that.
Sure.
So till the, you know, it has a dry feeling. It's not, you know, liquidy anymore. So I got 3/4 cup of honey here.
Okay.
And we got to remember, like honey, This was getting setting up a little bit. Doesn't make a difference,
Honey doesn't spoil.
No, honey does not spoil, so you could do that. And then it's a half a cup of vanilla yogurt.
Okay.
That there. And then a cup of canola or sunflower oil.
Okay.
I usually have canola, so I've not ever tried it with anything different, like vegetable oil, so I don't really think that would make an awful lot of difference.
Okay.
But this is just a fourth cup there. And a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'll put that in there. And about a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. So I'll just take that and I really don't think if you didn't have your kosher salt that would make such a horrible difference in the flavors. So
okay.
Just go ahead and use what you have. But kosher salt is nice. It's good to have. So just blend that a little bit. Mix those things together. And then we're going to put it in the microwave just for about 45 seconds. That's all it takes to, just to heat it up and make sure everything is well blended.
Okay.
And then we're going to stir that over our Cheerios. Okay, so we'll take that over to the microwave. Like I said, just for 45 seconds. And that's just enough to make it, liquefied and to have the honey soften a little bit more, and so
Sure.
it all gets blended well. And then I have, use a big jelly roll pan or a cookie sheet or whatever. But I do happen to have a pretty nice big pan that I use for putting that in, bacon like Chex Mix or anything like that. So
Sure. Now, do we have to spray this?
we're going to want to spray that just for, just a little bit there. And mostly just on the bottom is all, because it's not very deep, because it is a big pan. It's going to certainly, spread out more.
Okay.
So we'll get that. And I'm going to just take my whisk and just whisk that a little bit more. And I already did make some Cheerios prior, so we could show the finished product, because our 15 minutes is quite a bit to, for us to wait. So
Sure.
What I did find, because I do have a pretty big pan, I only did mine an hour, and
Okay.
it was plenty. So if you have it a little deeper in a smaller pan, you might want to do the hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
So we're going to just pour that over that.
Well, and usually, I mean, this seems like a good snack mix for kids. Kids usually like Cheerios. They're easy to, the right size to eat, and
It is, and it's, it's healthy.
Yeah.
And everything that's going to go into this, except probably the yogurt covered pretzels, but that still is, a good. You got your, and when it says cranberry snack mix, you actually are going to use the craisins, the dried cranberries.
Okay.
And not fresh whole cranberries like that. So that would be a little bit tartar for sure.
Absolutely.
No. So just, make sure you just got a big enough bowl that you can mix that well. And with all this liquid in here and stuff, that bakes up and in an hour, and it was, it was dry.
Okay.
Like I said, Honey Nut Cheerios, regular Cheerios, combination. It's just going to be whatever you would like.
So So this is what we bake first. We don't add the other ingredients until we're done.
That's correct.
Okay.
This gets baked, and then you want to let it cool,
Sure.
and then before you add your the rest of your mix. So we'll just spread that out, and we'll set that aside. And being we have our cake in the oven at 350, and this is going to take an hour at 250. I already got some Cheerios made. We're going to just take that and set it aside, so when the cake is done, then I'll just go ahead and make this up.
Sounds good.
And have my 2 batches of snack mix.
Right.
All right, we'll set that over here. And now we're just going to go ahead and finish our snack mix. So you've got your Cheerios in there. They're going to brown, and that's what you want. So
Okay.
you have that. So now we have a cup of pistachios,
Okay.
and that's always a great nut. And you have a cup of your craisins. And don't worry about adding a little extra if you have, or if you're a little bit short, it's going to be just fine. And then 2 cups of yogurt pretzels, and you can buy them, or I just like
Made
to
'em?
make one. Yeah, for sure. So you're going to add that in there. And just take a spoon, and you're just going to just mix that up. So you have the sweetness of your yogurt pretzels, your craisins, going to give it a little bit of tartness, but yet craisins are fairly sweet,
Yes.
and your nuts and that. So just mix that up, and then you're going to store this in an airtight container, and I don't think you're going to have to worry about it being in a tight container too long. It's going to be gone.
Right. Well, I mean, something like this, like when you make Chex Mix, or this is just a different variation that
It is, and
something
that stuff.
more on the sweet side and healthy.
That's right. So I want to get a bowl over here in the cupboard. I could have had that one out, but didn't think about it. So we want, a glass bowl and just to, put some out here. And I was kind of snacking on just the Cheerios like that with the honey and the yogurt on that. It was really good and stuff. So, okay. So we got that done. We'll set that aside.
All right.
And, our cake still has about, it says 18 minutes to go yet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just add the salsa in here so it's easy to dip. And taking it out of the picture, you can really see how much it does make.
Well, and it's juicy now too.
That's right.
The longer you let it set, it's gonna get juicy.
Yeah. And you're going to want, I do have the scoops for the salsa.
Sure.
It's going to be easier because it is a little juicy, and it's going to be nice just to be able to, take a nice generous portion. So we'll just add that in there. Okay. So we're going to wait till our cake is done, and we can picture our cranberries.
Sounds great.
There. Okay. Oh, just look at all those beautiful cranberries in there.
Smells
And that.
good.
Well, we're
put
going
it right
to
on
just
top.
set it up there. And I would definitely suggest letting it cool, when you're making it, to let it cool for a little while.
Sure.
But we don't have the time, so we're going to cut right into it.
Okay.
And that and stuff. So I put a toothpick in that, and it come out clean. Did check it a little bit before, and at the 40 minutes, so I did go 2 more minutes with
Okay.
it. So that's what I did. Okay. So we're going to get that piece of cake out there. And it really comes out quite nice with it being so just right out of the oven like that. But it's really got a pretty nice caramelized color on top.
It does. It's pretty cake.
On that. So we'll just picture that on there. So we have quite a few things to show here.
We do.
We have the cake, and we have our great snack mix.
We do.
And we have our awesome cranberry relish, which, you know, you're going to want to just take that scoop and it's so good, I almost want to do it right now.
To get these recipes, just go to our website, www.ctctel.com. We'd like to thank Denise Brozart again for submitting the salsa recipe. Her name will get put into the drawing this month for the Cooking Crave apron. Going to hand out quite a few of those, I think.
That'll be great.
We want to thank you, as always, for joining us, and thank you to our sponsors. And join us next time when we do it all over again here on Cooking Crave.